what advice would you give the next generation to help them along their journey and maybe avoid some of the things that you had to go through?
Mm. Yeah, I would say number one, make sure you do the inner work. Do the inner work. I read lots of books. I listen to a lot of people and I take action. So reading is great, learning is great, but if you don't follow through with action to implement the things that you learn, then all of that knowledge makes no difference. And that is why a coach is so important, because a coach will hold you accountable and saying, okay, you say that you're committed to forgiving your partner for cheating on you. Okay, so what action are you actually going to take on to have that go back to the way it was? What are you willing to give up so that you don't keep going sliding backwards? Being able to be held accountable for those things, because as humans, our ego is like right there, wanting to protect us and telling us, oh, well, we don't need to forgive, or we don't need to, give people space. Like they're the one in the wrong. You're the one in the right. And there's all this like right and wrong, good and bad. And consider that there is no right or wrong or good and bad. There's just different perspectives. So to answer your question, I would say do the inner work, and do the work around communication and learn how to listen. I would say 99.9% of people actually don't listen. I thought I was a great listener as a sales rep. That was my job, is to listen and then fix the problem. And I really got, becoming a coach, I was like, wow, this whole listening thing, I am terrible at
totally
it. It's
different.
totally different. Yeah. And to listen, the distinction is to listen, not to respond, but to listen to how the other person feel understood. It's a totally, totally different distinction. And I think that's what people appreciate about me. They go, Jeanell, I just feel so heard by you. I feel so known. I feel like I'm no longer judged and I can just be myself. I don't have to try to be this perfect human being. Like I give people so much space to just be human. Like even if they cheated with their spouse, I'd be like, I got it. You were lonely. I got it. I don't blame you. I'm not saying it was a good thing that you did that, but you're a human being. It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. Now we just got to fix it. That's all. That's really the attitude I come in with. It's not about giving them 20 lashings and telling them we're a terrible person, because that does nothing. That makes no change in the world, except for making the other person feel worse.
Yeah, you'd always want to make sure that the consequence or is something that they learn from. Like let them. What I try to do is I try to have people self-reflect on their actions and to understand what has happened. At least they can come to their own type of consequence. But as you mentioned, if you're going to, bring out the whip and say, okay, you've done this, and have this like charts of consequence. You didn't wash the dishes. This is what you get. You didn't do this. This is what you get. Right.
Which leads me to I would say my probably number one, number two, like secret formula, if you will. Okay, so what I'm such a fan of, and what me and my husband do really, really, really well, is we appreciate each other. It's so funny. I tell my clients, go and acknowledge your partner today. She's like, why? He hasn't done anything. I said, why does he have to do something to acknowledge him? Why can't you just say to him, you know what, honey? You're a great guy. You know what, sweetheart? I love you. You know what? You're an amazing human being.